Technology in the tech industry is having an increasing impact on every aspect of our lives. It's about how we buy a house, where we can live, what our working conditions are like.
Technology is making decisions about you, whether you know it or not.
We can't wait until technology is already harming people and expect them to speak up. We need to have guardrails that make sure that companies are accountable before the technology is released into the world. I started Tech Equity after Uber announced they were moving to my neighborhood in downtown Oakland, and the community revolted. I grew up outside of Detroit in the 1980s, and it was surprising to me that when a company would announce that they were moving lots of jobs to an inner city, that people wouldn't see value in that. They didn't see the growth of the tech sector as something that was going to benefit them. We focus on legislation in California because we think California can leverage change around the world, both as the 5th largest economy in the world, but also as headquarters to Silicon Valley.
Of the 50 major AI companies, 35 of them are located here in California. And so when you think about enacting basic guardrails on the behavior of these industries, you really can set the stage for what happens not just in California, but throughout the U.S.
We focus on housing and labor issues because we think those are the two issues that are most critical to the economic well-being of everyday people.
Tech Equity is really trying to engage with the contract worker community.
Pay is often significantly lower. The contracts usually are 2 to 3 month contracts that maybe get renewed over and over and over again, which is very difficult if you're a worker trying to get an apartment.
We have people that are commuting 2-3 hours away from some of these Bay Area companies because they just can't afford to pay rent. The work at Tech Equity I'm most proud of, I would say, is our work on AB 1482 around rent caps. So making sure that landlords aren't, price gouging rents, increasing your rent. And we successfully got that passed in coalition with other housing organizations, other community-based organizations, and state legislators. So this website built by our team of volunteers was like the one-stop shop for renters in California to easily check whether or not their rent increase was illegal and then how to get resources.
Often people are curious about what is AI and how does it intersect with our housing, priorities, our labor priorities.
AI is really the dominant technology that is shaping the world as we experience it today.
AI shows up in employment in a vast number of ways in terms of screening thousands of resumes for a company and then giving them a pool of people that match, keywords that they've indicated are important to them.
People First AI is AI that actually supports human flourishing instead of prioritizing corporate profit at our expense.
Our work is centered around the voice of our community. I think a lot of the times our community is not being represented in the rooms where decisions are being made.
One of the core pieces of responsible technology is not believing that you know better for someone else and what will help them in their community, but actually engaging with them directly and understanding the problem that you're trying to address and co-creating that solution.
Collecting and sharing stories really does move the needle in this work. It can be really the decision maker whether something moves forward or not.
In my many years of doing this work with Tech Equity, I'm most proud of the way that we've been able to amplify the voices of people whose voices weren't being heard on these issues before.
Talking about your experiences really does bring power and puts a face to some of the issues that we're seeing.
These tools are invisible in people's lives often. So, for example, tenant screening tools, the people who are having these tools used on their applications don't know that they're being screened by an algorithm.
We always say there is no consent in the workplace. The power differentials are so extreme that even if you told people it's okay to bring this forward, it's a safe environment, people aren't going to feel comfortable to do that no matter what the situation is.
Well, you mentioned power differentials. We're going up against the largest, most powerful industry in the world. These are companies who have the highest valuations in the history of capitalism, and we are just a little small 15-person nonprofit. So it can be daunting to think about how we can raise the voices of real people to speak against that kind of power, but with support from the groups like the Omidyar Network and the other organizations that are in our ecosystem, I think there can be strength and courage in working together and raising our voices together.